present a very important topic, which is going to be cost of truth. So we are having a couple of important speakers, Mary Inman and Zoya. Mary Inman has been representing truth tellers, whistleblowers for a long time, and Zoya is a researcher in Europe who have been researching on people in the space, whistleblower space, and both of them are going to come up with some input for regulators. They are going to talk about the human cost of whistleblowers in the AI trenches. What are the personal risks and systemic failures in tech accountability? But before getting both of them on board for a very interesting, good, uh, a hour-long discussion, so I have a very important key person, Pav Gill, who was the whistleblower behind Wirecard, who is going to join us. Myself and Pav did a small interaction. So I'm just going to present the interaction with in front of all of you. This is also going to be like a keynote for inviting both Mary and Zoya to talk. And he's going to talk about cost of truth telling. I have asked few questions. He is going to talk. So let us see. I'm just going to share my screen. Just let me know in case of, okay, let's do some logistics here. Hope my audio should be visible for all of you. Audio should be hearing. Okay. Audio shared. Just
Hey, Pav, thanks for taking time out to join us in the AI Ethics Summit. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My heartfelt wishes really go to Suchir's parents. I wish I could be there in person to join this summit or even to just give support in any way that I can. When I first read about it, I was extremely impacted, given that it really hit home. What has happened and the impact is just undeniably horrible. I mean, I really can only hope that one day we have justice and the truth comes to light. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to even say a few words in support of this whole case and AI ethics in general.
Thank you, Pav. So, I think you have spoken about the isolation after exposing Wirecard, cut off by colleagues, labeled disgruntled. What psychological tools did you build in that vacuum to avoid being crushed by the machine you challenged?
I think it's very difficult because when you're put in a whistleblowing situation, um, especially if you are, say, legal risk compliance, and that was me, right? I was the head of legal for Asia Pacific for Wirecard, and a whistleblower actually came to me. I was trying to protect this person. I gave that person a different name. And then over time, because the board found out I was investigating, they started coming after me. So this is when, you find yourself, as you said, like, isolated because of the sensitive nature of what I came across and the fact that I was investigating it. It's not something I could share with my colleagues or even my friends outside of the company, legal privilege and all these things. So that's where you become isolated. And that's where you still need to find the strength to um, maintain your resolve in still doing your job or still trying to protect whoever came to you in confidence. And it's very difficult. Especially when the organization is trying to attack you, right? And in my case, they tried to kill me at the end of it. So then what do you do? I guess, of course, there's a spiritual element to it. You could go into faith-based approaches. for me, I had to speak to my mom because my mom's a single parent. I'm the only child, and I thought it was only fair that if anything happened to me, she knew why and had the background. So that's the way she got involved. Um, I think once you realize you're being cut off and labeled no matter what, the only way to kind of stay sane is to stop expecting sense from broken systems. And this is often the case in companies. So, um, all a person can do is kind of build legal arguments, keep receipts, and not waste energy trying to correct every lie. I mean, you lose a lot, but you have to maintain your grip.
Awesome. Coming to the systemic flaw, Wirecard's fraud thrived because people accepted how things work. When you witness similar normalized compromises in artificial intelligence industry today, for example, bias dismissed as technical debt, what specific structured failure should whistleblowers attack first?
I mean, the biggest issue in these things is how easily responsibility disappears, right? In AI, that's often like dressed up as, oh, the LLM, the model did it, or we'll fix these biases later. I mean, no one really wants to own anything. It's the same trick in Wirecard. You just dilute accountability so no one takes the fall. I mean, my only advice is if you're inside and you're seeing these cracks, that's where you should aim. Just pin down who signed off, what was flagged, and also obviously what got buried.
Awesome. About the redemption arc, you now work at Confide, which is trying to empower ethical transparency. If you could give one tool to potential AI whistleblowers, something you lacked during your crisis, what would it be? And why would it rewrite their story?
I mean, I think what whistleblowers need isn't like some kind of vault or solution per se. I mean, they need a mechanism at the end of the day that makes the wrongdoing or the silence visible, right? A system that logs not just what you submitted in that sense, but also how it was handled or wasn't handled. Because then that flips the script. Suddenly, it's not a he said, she said situation. It's instead like, okay, here's what was raised, here's who saw it, and here's how it was handled or mishandled. So I think that's what I tried to build with the Confide platform. Just something that would force accountability in that way from receipt of the matter to resolution. Oftentimes, when you have all these like hotlines and stuff, it's just focusing on receiving, but it's often what happens after the receiving of a report which matters most, as even to whistleblowers. Sometimes people just want to be heard. They want to know that their case is being taken seriously. It's not like just gone into this black hole or into an abyss somewhere, right? That you have no control over the outcome. You have no idea who's dealing with it, and no visibility over the process. And also, then how do you force accountability and visibility as well? So I think these are the current gaps in the system, and hopefully, we'll try to fix them successfully.
Awesome. When you see AI whistleblowers today risking everything, for example, like Suchir Balaji challenging the fair use in OpenAI, going to New York Times and writing our research papers, what is that one institutional reform that would have protected you and must protect many of these new AI whistleblowers like Suchir Balaji?
Yeah, I mean, in my case, I was in Singapore. We have no real overarching whistleblowing protections here. Also, the fact that Wirecard was in Germany at that time, there was no EU whistleblowing directive. And also, at the end of the day, like these whistleblowing laws, they only kick in after the damage has been done, right? After someone's been fired, blacklisted, then maybe you got a case. But oftentimes that's too late. I think real reform means protection while you're still inside the company. And that's when it actually matters. I mean, you need to have some kind of legal standing to escalate stuff, to hold management, to process, to stop the retaliation before it hits, not after. Otherwise, it's just like paperwork after the wreckage. So I think we do need some avenues externally as well for assistance. I mean, if you think about a lot of these companies that are committing wrongdoing, Uh, that involves a lot of forging of documents. And of course, in the AI space, there's deep fakes and all these things, right? The same very employers could be creating stuff against you. So, do you have the resources if now they find out you're a threat? Do you have the resources as an individual to challenge all these things, to prove otherwise that no, these things are not fake? I wasn't involved in anything, that the company's creating stuff against me. Most people don't. They don't have the kind of resources to fight these kinds of battles. So that's where external assistance, external aid, external protection would really, really be of practical use to the people that need it most. I mean, I've always wondered, why is it if a person was trying to stop a crime in the street, that everyone will be like, oh my God, that's a hero. But then when you do it in a corporate setting, you're always viewed in a very different way. But isn't it at the end of the day, stopping crimes as well, just in a different setting? So I think these are things that not only organizations, but also lawmakers need to think very strong, and just people as a whole. Like, let's stop the stigma. Let's reward not only those that stop crimes outside in the street, but also within corporations.
Last but not least, what is the cost of truth telling? Going by your whistleblowing Wirecard on the personal and professional price of speaking truth to the power. It's like, and also, what are the lessons you want the new whistleblower should take in exposing any billion-dollar frauds, and kind of you want them to be kind of cautious?
Oh, it's not an easy path. Like, I guess I've got white hair at a younger age than expected from the process. But I think, it's you need to look after yourself at the end of the day, and ask yourself what matters to you and what the outcome is it that you want to achieve. Because once you go down that pathway, you got to make sure you see it till the end. Don't do it halfway. Don't expose yourself. Do not come out. Stay anonymous if you can to the greatest extent possible. Because, like in Wirecard, that was a very rare case of successful whistleblowing. Oftentimes, people are exposed during the process, and that's where the companies take revenge. You get defamed, you can't find a job, and your life just takes a turn for the worse. So keep yourself protected, seek legal counsel advice as soon as you can. Um, and yeah, just ask yourself, what is it you want to do? What would make you feel safe? What will make your family feel safe? What will make you sleep well at night? If the answer to that is just leaving and finding another job, or doing something else, then sure, why not explore that? Because at the end of the day, it's, you got to look after yourself. And that to me is the advice I generally give people.
Awesome.